Ships of an alien source are approaching from the sky. Radio contact has been attempted but cannot be established. Instructions are to prepare for an attack by an unknown enemy.
Well done, well done. Well done, well done. Well done.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm back with another video here. Obviously I'm going to be talking about training to failure. I have talked about this in a previous video, just like a tad bit, but I think it deserves, a little more attention. So I wanted to talk about it. First off, understand that everyone's a little bit different in the sense that some people respond to this kind of training, some people respond to a different type of training. That's just how it is, you look at professional bodybuilders. Dorian Yates, for example, says he can get an effective workout in like 30-45 minutes. And you have other guys, I say Jay Cutler, who could be in weight room for 2 hours. So there is a big gap in between, techniques and styles and stuff like that. So it is kind of depending on what works best for you. That's why I kind of wanted to give this option of, what I've seen work best for me, and you can kind of be your own judge of that. Now, I am talking about training to failure. I use training to failure just as just like a tool, pretty much just as I would with switching up exercises or switching up muscle groups I work with, or switching up the rest periods in between sets. There's a ton of different variables you can throw in there, and I use failure as probably my most important one, but it's definitely not head and shoulders above it. I kind of hate I would say my outlook on fitness is I really don't like the extremist part of it, where someone tells you this is the only way to train, this is the only thing that will work for you, or this is the only way to eat. That's just not true. Different things work for different people, and you have to find out what works for you. And most things, to be honest with you, have some merit. Some people say you should never lift heavy because you don't gain any strength, or you don't gain any muscle, you just gain strength. So I still like that whole extremist point of view. In most of my things, I'm pretty much in the middle of combining different ideas and making it work for me. So training to failure, this is my kind of outlook on it. I use it as a tool, like I said, and I would say I train to failure for majority of the last set of my exercises. So if I did 4 sets of an exercise, the 4th set would probably be to failure, or if not failure, pretty darn close. And I'll give you just a quick example of how this works for me and how I see it as being really beneficial. If you take a person, the same exact person, and they're doing chest day, and say they're all warmed up, they're going to do 3 working sets, and they put 225 on the bar, and the first type of training, the person goes all out and does 11 reps. All out. The spotter has to help them on the last rep, all out. So you would think maybe he's just going to lose like a rep or 2 on the second set, but once you go to like true failure, you'll probably cut your reps in half. So he's probably going to do 6 reps his second set, and then his last set he'll probably do about 4 reps. So for his first exercise, he just did a total of 21 reps. Now you take that same person and say he has a little bit better feel, and he gets his 9 reps. It's definitely not easy, but he knows he's getting close to failure. And he racks the weight. He takes his minute and a half break, and he comes back. He does 9 reps again. Obviously, it's a little bit harder. He knows he's getting a little bit closer to that point of failure. And then his last set, he comes in all out. Spotter helping him on the last rep, 7 reps. So he just did 25 reps. Okay, so it's 25 versus 21, and obviously he did a little bit more work at that same weight. And maybe some people are like, well, 4 reps, it's really not that big of a difference. And I kind of understand that, but if you take that throughout an entire workout, the person that just went all out for 3 sets, his next exercise, those weights are going to have to dramatically decrease because he just spent a lot of energy. While the second person, he's not going to be totally fresh, but he's still going to be able to push pretty close to his heaviest weights because he didn't go all out 3 sets. He went all out 1 set. So maybe he does 4 extra reps on this exercise, 4 on this one, 4 on this one, 4 on this one. At the end of the workout, he could actually do, you know, 20, 30 extra reps than the other person, okay? So that's kind of the example I like to give people as far as knowing where that failure point is. Today I did chest. I did a little bit higher volume, even higher than normal. I did 18 sets, and I would say true failure is probably about 5 of those sets, and then maybe 1 or 2 of them were, you know, pretty darn close to failure. And that's about 1/3 of my sets, which I think is, you know, pretty good if you like to train high volume. And then the other side of that is high intensity training. Like I said, it does have some merit. It's not just, you know, a dumb way of training. You just have to understand how to use it and how to be smart about it. If you're going to train, you know, with that all-out maximum intensity, there's a few things you have to understand. You're not going to be able to train for as long or high volume. You know, some people like to do maximum intensity with high volume, and it just doesn't work. Your body can't keep up that kind of pace. You can't go all out for 20 sets. Even if you did for one workout, you're not going to be able to sustain that over weeks, over months, over years. So you have to understand your volume's going to have to cut back quite a bit, actually. So if you're going all out, maybe just do 2 sets of an exercise all out and end up with doing, you know, 8 to 10 sets in a workout, because you're taxing your body a lot. But that still can be beneficial. Just understanding to lower the volume down. You may even have to lower the amount of days you train. Another thing to remember is when you constantly train to failure, I'm not a big component of the term overtraining. I think it's, for the most part, an excuse for most people, because they say, oh, I can't work out today because I'll be overtraining or something like that, without actually knowing what it means. I really don't believe in the sense of overtraining, as you know, you can overtrain your back or overtrain your biceps or whatever, but I do believe you can kind of overtrain your body as a whole, like your central nervous system. So if you keep going to failure, workout after workout, you're just going to become, I'd say, unmotivated to work out, because your body's going to push back on you, and you're just going to be spending so much energy, you're just going to be drained. And you train to failure, you go to work out the next day, and you're just like, wow, I don't want to be here, you know. You may have it in your head, you're like, okay, I need to work out, but your body just doesn't want to do it. So if you're going to train to high intensity, I wouldn't even recommend training high intensity, if you're even a component of that, doing it for long periods of time. Or if you do, make sure to take, you know, maybe 2 days in between a workout, or if you're not taking that time, maybe every month take an entire week off, just because you're putting a ton of stress on your body. I'm not a high intensity guy, but I didn't want to explain, if you are a high intensity kind of person, those are kind of the rules you need to stick with, so you don't kind of overtrain your nervous system and kind of burn yourself out. You know, that's the easiest way I could put it. And I say, as far as me, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. The things I've seen, as far as personally and myself, and also read and stuff like that, I believe stopping at that point of failure, or I mean really close to failure, and then for, you know, a certain amount of sets, obviously you need to push to failure. At the end of the day, a gain is a gain. You know, if I went and squatted, you know, 315 for 3 reps 1 week, and then I didn't go to failure, and I went and squatted 315 for 6 reps, I didn't go to failure, it's still a gain whether or not I went to failure, you know. So just understand that, especially for beginners. If you're just starting working out, you don't have to be taking everything to the extreme, you know, every set all out. That's just the easy way to burn yourself out if you're a beginner. So that's the video, guys. Just wanted to talk about training to failure, kind of the misconceptions on it. Those are my thoughts about it. If you guys want to add your comments on the whole kind of high intensity, high volume, overtraining, training to failure topics, you can do that below. You know, subscribe to the channel, rate my video. You know, I hope you guys are working hard, and I'll have more videos coming soon.